This is the Brave Little Tailor from a 1904 edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales. This book is in the public domain and may be freely used by anyone. Welcome everyone to a Fuzzy World Reading Collective. Tonight we will be reading out of the Grimm's Fairy Tales, The Brave Little Tailor. If you want to read along today, you can go to library.afuzzyworld.net and download the file tonight. We are currently on page 183. Once again, we are reading The Brave Little Tailor. One fine summer morning, a little tailor sat with his legs crossed in his open window at work. Now this little man liked good things to eat, and when a farmer's wife came down the street crying, "Good jam for sale! Good jam for sale!" the tailor stuck his head out of the window and said, "Come here, my good woman, I wish to buy some of your jam." The woman climbed up the 3 steps with her heavy basket and soon had her goods spread out before the hungry tailor. As he smelled of first this jam and then that, the woman thought she would surely make a good sale. But after waiting a long time, the tailor at last said, "I think I will have a quarter of a pound of the strawberry jam. It smells so good." The woman thought he had taken a very long time to buy so little jam, and went away with her heavy basket, feeling quite cross and angry. "Oh," cried the tailor, "how I shall enjoy this good jam! The very thought of it makes me strong." Then he took down some bread from a shelf, cut it off half a large slice, and spread it thick with jam. "How good that looks," he said. "But before I take even a bite, I must finish this coat." Then he put the bread on a chair close by, and seating himself, he sewed away as busy as could be. Now there was many flies in the room, and as the smell of the jam filled the air, they flew down in swarms to get a taste of the tailor's meal. "Hallo!" cried the tailor. Who invited you?" And he drove them away. It was of no use. The flies would not stay away, but came back even thicker than before. At last the tailor could stand it no longer, and taking a piece of cloth, he made a great dash at the flies. Lo! When he looked, he found that he had killed 7. "Oh!" he cried. "What a brave fellow I am to have killed 7 at one stroke! I will not hide it. The whole town shall know how brave I am." So in great haste he cut out a belt for himself and stitched it on it in a great big black letters. 7 at one stroke! Not only the town," he then said, "but the whole world shall know of it." And he patted himself and swelled out like a turkey cock. The little tailor tied the belt around his waist, and putting an old cheese in his pocket, he shut up his little shop and started out to see the world. As he walked along, he found a poor little bird caught in the bushes. He lifted it out and with great care put it in his pocket. Then the little tailor went on again and soon came to a high mountain. When he had climbed to the top, there quite at his ease sat a great giant who looked at him in a friendly way. The brave little tailor looked right up at the giant and said, "Good morning, my friend. Upon my word, you shall have a fine view of the world from here. But I am on my travels to see if I can find good luck. Would you not like to go with me?" The giant looked down on the little tailor and said, "You little imp! What, go with you? Why, you are not more than a mouthful." "Stop!" cried the tailor. "Not so fast!" And opening his coat, he pointed to the words on his belt. "If you can read, that will show you how much of a man I am." The giant read, 7 at one stroke. And thinking it must have been 7 men whom the tailor had killed, he looked upon the little man with more goodwill. Well, now I will try you, said the giant. Look here. Can you do this? Then he took up a large stone and squeezed it so hard that a few drops of water came from it. Oh, that is nothing, cried the tailor. That is but play for me. And taking out the soft cheese from his pocket, he squeezed it till the water ran out of in a stream. And the same time he cried, Beat that, if you can. The giant knew not what to say, but he took up another stone and threw it so high in the air that one could not see where it fell. Oh, that is very well done, said the tailor, but the stone will fall somewhere. I will throw one up, and it shall not come down again. So he put his hand into his pocket, and taking out the bird, threw it high up into the air. At once the bird rose higher than the great giant stone, and soon was far out of sight. What do you think of that, my friend? Said the tailor. You could not throw well, answered the giant, but I should like to see if you can lift as well as you can throw. And he led the little tailor into a forest in which lay a great oak tree that had been blown down by the wind. Now, then, he said, if you are as strong as you say you are, just help me carry this tree out of the forest. Oh, very well, answered the tailor. You take the trunk on your back, and let me take the leaves and branches. They are heavier. Then the giant lifted the trunk on his back, but the little tailor took his seat among the branches unseen by the giant, who had to carry the whole tree and the tailor besides. Our little friend was so merry that he sang as he went along. Soon the load grew too heavy for the giant, and at last he said, I cannot go a step farther. Do you hear? I shall let the trunk fall. At this, the tailor sprang lightly down, took hold of the tree with both hands, and said, Well, you can't be so very strong not to be able to carry a tree like this. Then the giant said to him, Since you are so strong, you had better come home with me to my cave and stop for the night. When they reached the cave, there sat 2 other giants before a blazing fire, each with a large roast sheep in his hands, eating his supper. The little tailor sat down and thought to himself, Well, this is a sight worth coming along the ways to see. Then the giant showed him his bed, but it was so large and hard that he got up, crept into a corner, and there went to sleep. When all was still, the giant arose and struck the little tailor's bed such a heavy blow that it broke in 2. Ah, thought the huge fellow, I have killed you like a grasshopper. You will play no more tricks on me. The next morning the giants did not give the little tailor a thought, but went off into the wood. And so when they saw him walking up as brave as ever, they thought that he could come to life again. And knowing that he could kill 7 at one stroke, the giants took to their heels and ran away so fast that they were soon out of sight. Then the little man went on until he came to the gates of the king's castle, where, tried out with his long walk, he lay down on the grass and soon fell fast asleep. While he lay there, some of the king's men passed by and read on his belt the words, 7 at one stroke. Oh, they cried, what can a man like this be doing here in time of peace? He must be a great hero. So they ran and told the king, who said, He must indeed be a great man. Go out and sit by his side, and when he wakes, give him his bag of gold, and tell him that I would like to make him a general in my army. The king's men did as they were ordered, and when the little tailor awoke, they told him what the king had said. Ah, yes, cried the little man. That is what I came for. I should be glad to join the king's army. Then the king gave him a room in the castle, and he had fine clothes to wear. But the rest of the king's soldiers did not like the little tailor. "For," they said, "if we should have a fight with him, what would it be not he do to us, a man who can kill 7 at a single stroke?" So they went to the king and told him that they would leave his army unless he sent the little tailor away. Now the king did not like to lose all his old soldiers, and began to wish that he had never seen the tailor.